Plaintiff Tiana McCain says the defendant is her older sister, and because their mother was addicted to crack, they were raised in separate homes. Tiana claims she let the defendant borrow her water hose, but she forgot to turn the water off and it ran for 2 weeks. So she's suing for the water bill and property damages. Defendant Marnetta McCain says when she turned 18, she got legal custody of Tiana, who was 14 at the time. Shortly after she moved in with Marnetta, Tiana became pregnant, but fortunately she still graduated high school. Marnetta insists she turned the hose off when she left Tiana's house and therefore doesn't owe her for anything.
Start with you.
Okay, well, Marnetta is my older sister. We have 5 other siblings, and we didn't really grow up together. Our mother, she was sick, and she also was on drugs, so we kind of got separated throughout the family. So,
how many of you all grew up together?
My aunt adopted me, so I kind of grew up there by myself, but my grandmother had my sister Marnetta and my other brother and my little brother, and my other sister was with another family member. But Marnetta stayed across the street from me for a lot of times that we were growing up, so we did still interact with each other. We just weren't in the same house.
What type of drugs was your brother on?
On crack.
Always got to say something about that because it is one of the biggest tragedies in modern American history. Wiped out a whole generation, crack did, and probably overwhelming majority of children that particularly the mother became addicted to crack. They get separated and they're not together and they're raised separately, and it's directly a result of the crack addiction. And so it just bothers me when I hear it because I've experienced all that too.
Yes, and
we were seen it happen. I think I may have made reference to this. One relative, her mother was addicted to crack, and she probably saw it twice in life, and she had 8 children, all while she was on crack. It's just sad to hear, but it's good to see when folks come out all right. So glad to see you ladies were able to overcome one of America's biggest challenges. Now they have the heroin epidemic. Looks like they're not going to let that get as far. So, because more and more we saw what happened with the crack epidemic.
Right.
All right, so you all were at least across the street from each other. Very good.
Yes.
And that was how many of you all lived across the street from each other?
It was about 4 of us that lived across the street from each other, but we all were with family members, so we still interacted all the time.
So you all interacted? Great. You were fortunate. You were fortunate.
So when Marnetta turned 18, she got her first apartment, and I moved in with her, and I was only about 14, going on 15, and I soon later got pregnant. So I was staying with her, and our relationship was okay, but we'd always fought over the smallest things. Like, for instance, we got into a physical fight before over the dishes. In the end, we always, come back together because we know we're sisters, we're all we have. So it was never like a big deal. So
you all finished high school, both of you?
Well, yes, I graduated high school. She went on to get her GED because she had a child as a teenager as well.
All right.
So, and
anybody go further than that?
Yeah, we both went on and got medical assistant certificates after that. And
excellent.
I'm still in school now. I'm doing pre-occupational therapy and just working full time and things like that.
You give me some background.
All right, well, Tiana is my younger sister. We're 3 years apart. Like she said, we grew up around family members. And when I got 18, I got my own place, and I did get custody of her at the time.
Okay.
And then
legal custody?
Yes, legal custody. And then she became pregnant. We argued a lot, just like she said. Like, how siblings do.
Young ones particularly.
Right. And we did get into a fight. It was like a real fist fight. I ran up on her.
How old were you all then?
I want to say I was 23 at the time, 24 or something like that. And
she was 20, she was in her 20s as well? All right.
Eventually our brothers broke it up. We left, and then after that, we got back cool.
Good.
Like, you know how sisters do.
All right, good. And you still working on advancing yourself as well?
Yes.
You
yes,
working
I am.
in the medical assistant area right now?
No, I'm not working in the medical assistant area.
Why?
Right
You,
now,
didn't
I'm
want,
doing-
you want to or not?
Yeah, I want to.
What city you're in?
Cleveland.
All right. I know my staff say you put everything on us, Judge. Now you getting now you're making us get folks jobs. I was going to ask my staff to help you get a job.
Oh, okay.
In your field, because you've paid your dues, you've done it, you've
Right.
overcome tremendous obstacles, and I want to help you.
All right,
And if
thank
they don't help you enough, then I'm gonna get on the phone myself. And
Okay.
I'll threaten them. Give her a job or something coming over there. I know y'all probably doing wrong anyway. I'll be over at that clinic in a minute. How about that? And tell me why you're suing her.
Well, I'm suing her because on May 17th, she texted me while I was at work, and she asked could she wash her car at my house. So I agreed to let her wash her car. A couple weeks later, while at work, I got an email from my water company stating that they noticed a huge spike in usage. So I race home, I call my landlord. I get to the house, and we find that the water hose was leaking because the handle was broken off. She obviously broke the handle, so the yard was flooded. Some of the water leaked into my basement, and it didn't flood the basement, but they had to like dehumidify and sanitize it. And
What'd she say?
well, when I first told her about it, she's like, oh, you know what? It was leaking after I left, but she had never told me at the time. So I'm thinking like, well, maybe if you would have told me right away, we could have addressed it at that time once that incident
What happened? What happened?
Well, I went over there, washed my car. I turned the water on like normal. Everything was fine. And then when I got done washing my car, I turned the water hose off.
So how did it break, though?
Well, you know how you turn the water hose off and there's still a little water that come out after you turn it off. So that's what I thought the case was. I didn't know that it was going to keep running or anything. I didn't pay attention and I didn't go back and check to
Yep.
see if it was a problem.
I put the hose in the swimming pool probably about 3 p.m. and no one went outside after that. And by midnight, I was on my way to bed. I said, hold up, I think I might have left. When I went outside, it was flooded. The yard was flooded. And my wife tried to fuss at me. I said, hold on, don't forget, you ruined the kitchen floors that time. In fact, we had to move for a couple of weeks because it ruined all of the floor, which was a pretty large area. So I got a pass. You didn't have to move either.
Right,
So
no.
give her a pass.
No, my water bill went up. It skyrocketed. I have the bill to show my usage, my normal usage versus my usage after the fact.
But you'll be all right. We're going to get you in your field. All right. Yeah, I'm going to have to grant it to her. $1,406. All right. Good luck to you, ladies, and we'll talk to you soon, all right?
All right, thank you.
All right, good luck.
You still my sister, and I love you, and I know we still gonna have our little fights sometimes.
Right.
As long as we always go back to the same way.
Right, just like she said, she's my sister. I love her. We're going to overcome this anyway, so.